Oh.
Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. We got a packed house tonight. Look at all these wonderful faces down here. Minus Heisenberg. He's here too. He's down there in the middle, right where he needs to be. Everybody look at him. Wait for him to say something fantastic. What do you have to say, Heisenberg?
Hi, everybody.
Hello?
So dramatic.
I expect a professional show tonight. No laughing, no joking around.
Good luck with that, dude. But we got a super awesome show tonight. I can't wait to share with everybody.
Before we get started, can I just say you have one hell of a banger that opens the show.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you.
That was some awesome music.
I'm lucky enough that my brother wrote that. He's like really into electronica and techno, and that was he totally wrote that for us.
That was cool.
So
Yeah,
it was
you
funny.
couldn't see me, but I was sitting there doing.
Well, I saw you, man. I was up here raving too.
I rock out to that song, man. I like it.
Yeah, when we first started the show, I'm like, man, we need a good theme song. I don't told my bro, I'm like, dude, I love your techno. Give me something cool with like a bit of a Stranger Things vibe to it, and he nailed it. So
absolutely,
can't say enough about that. But we got an awesome show for you guys tonight. Right next to me, right there, we got Bill WOLTER, owner of the Bread Manor. What's up, brother?
What's happening?
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Okay. All right. No, good. What's been so we're gonna get to everybody, but I want to what's that? Oh, I did. I apologize.
Not a problem.
Am I freezing up bad or what? Okay.
No, you're okay.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Shit.
We got too many people.
Of course,
here.
I can't have a. Yeah, right. We're breaking the internet.
Anything above 2 people in StreamYard's like, whoa, hold on. 3 people, that's stretching it. You guys
hold
have
up.
7.
Right. Yeah, way to mess up, Goose. It's not me, bro.
John, I'm sorry for his behavior. I'm sorry for his behavior. I don't understand. When Denise isn't here, things just kind of fall apart.
They fall apart. They fall apart. Mama D, she ain't here. But all right, so we got Phil, we got Steve Wren, and we got Jenny Coles, we got Dan Norvell and Larry Eisler. Am I saying that last name right? Eisler?
Yeah, awesome. One of the first.
But yeah, we're super excited. I just watched Second Floor Broadhead Manor today, that episode of Entity, Expedition Entity. It's a killer episode. I need to go back and watch the first one yet. But that was the latest one you guys filmed. And
we did the first floor in season 1 and then the second floor in season 2. And then we're hoping to do the third floor probably by maybe season 5 or something.
Season 5.
We're already, you guys don't know this yet, but Dan and I have already started planning season 4, and we've only released 1 episode of season 3. So stuff starts very early. You gotta get going right away.
Yeah, how far out do you guys plan? I mean, it takes.
Usually we have everything. We try to get everything set up within a year. So, like by the start of this year, we had a plan in place for season 3 to have everything already ready to go. and then by probably April-ish, we'll start iron things out for next year. So, because things happen, sometimes locations, something happens to location. Maybe they have to sell. Maybe they close down. Maybe a fire happens. So, or if it's a big enough location, sometimes it takes 8 months to find an opening. So you gotta get in there early.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not letting them in for the next 2 years.
Yeah, no, we're.
I don't blame you.
We got the boot. Bill's like, I've seen enough of these ugly guys. Girl not included. I've seen enough of these ugly guys.
Well, I've seen it. So Larry showed me some pretty amazing pictures of the building itself, of the outside. That place is humongous. I could see why you'd want to have to almost have to break it up into separate, each floor into separate episodes. It looks like a phenomenal building.
They started filming the first episode. They started filming that first episode, and all of a sudden, they made it through the first level. And their plans were to go through the whole building, but that first level took an entire episode.
It did. I think we sat in the hallway one time in the first episode. That was our trip upstairs. And that was it. The whole rest of the time was downstairs.
And plus you're carrying all the gear, and it's a lot. It is a really big building. I mean, it's huge. So.
Yeah. And you got to carry it up the stairs. And that's the worst part. Up and down stairs, up and down and up and down.
There's only 44 stairs and you're young. I do it every day.
Only.
I do laps in
Bill, let me know when you get the logo installed. I'll come check it out.
All right.
Listen, Bill, it's okay. I'm man enough to admit that you're in much better shape than I am. I have accepted this. Your legs, your calves look better than my calves. It's a fact of life. Let's move on.
Thank you so much.
So, Bill, more on the subject, since you own Broadhead Manor, why don't you give us a little background on what the building used to be? Give us some idea of what we're dealing with at that place.
Broadhead Manor used to be Broadhead's original all-grade school. Half of our school was built in 1906. The other half of the building was built in 1936. It started out as kindergarten through 12. Then as the time progressed and whatnot, and they put the new addition on, they realized there were too many kids in the school, so they built a second school in Broadhead and moved all the middle school kids out, but left the elementary kids and the seniors, the older kids in the school. And then throughout time, it went back to grades 1 through 12. Then it went to be strictly the high school. Then it went back to just being the middle school before it closed in 1996. So that's basically the history of the building. What else would you like to know?
Everything.
Well, one of the cool things that I like about Broadhead is that, and we've discovered this now, every floor has its own spirits. And they kind of stick to those floors a little bit.
Yes, they do. We have spirits from the age. We have Elizabeth. She's the youngest. She's 7 years old. Up to, I want to say teenage adolescents, but they're between the ages of 18 to 24. We also have a resident janitor. He basically guards the whole school, and he tells me all the time that he hates the way I clean. He doesn't really like us to move things around, or we're constantly building. We do run a haunted house in there during the October month. He raised Goose is rebooting his internet.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
We're all getting the message. Man, ding, ding, ding.
We also have one of the resident principals of the school from, I believe he was there from 1938 to 1946. We do know his name. He did give us his name, but he just wants to be called Sir.
Sir.
He is very fire and brimstone, if you know what I mean by that. He's strictly by the book. He's a gentleman. If you treat him as a gentleman, he will be fine with you. If you're a female and you try to ask him questions, he's from an era that basically women were spoken to and not heard from.
Gotcha.
So if you're a woman, and in the episode that everybody here was in, Jenny got told, I broke the woman or the women.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said that, Jenny went blank.
Yeah.
And she got nauseous and violently ill and just
very lightheaded. It was almost like you could feel I don't know, the whole energy just shifted. It was really insane. I never really experienced anything like it. So it was pretty jarring. But
it seems to be something that people missed, like watching it. They had to watch it again because I zoomed in on Jen's face when she was kind of like that. And I'm like, how did you guys miss that? Like, you could tell something's wrong with her. Oh, I didn't realize it until you mentioned it. Okay.
Well, she almost passed out. As soon as she got out of the room, she felt fine.
Yeah.
The other Jenny that was there, Jenny Davis, she did the same thing. He affected her, got her up and out of the room. He didn't want her there.
Yeah.
So that you had to be there to actually, you could feel the room. Dan was sitting right there. Dan knows how that energy shifted in that room real fast. So hi Jenny. The other Jenny's it's all troublemakers. Yeah.
Now, do you think they can't move to the next floor, or they just stay on the one because they like it?
The principal will walk the halls.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the second floor. He mainly, if I keep his door closed, he will remain in his office. He won't bother anybody. He'll be fine with everybody.
Oh. Wow.
Unless you disrespect something in the building, then he comes out and gets you.
Wow.
The janitor, he primarily stays down in the janitor's area. He loves Steve.
Yeah. I think it's weird.
One of the few ones that he does like. I mean, there's only been like 3 or 4 people that he's actually invited to stay.
Oh, wow.
He's pushed Dan and tweaked Dan and pushed Larry and told him to get the fuck out of there and the whole shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll never forget that night.
What do you guys do the poor guy? What are you doing, guy? What are you doing?
Our kids, the younger ones stay downstairs and at the one end of the building on the second floor. The other older spirits, the older children spirit, or I can't say children, they stay on the third floor and they will mess with you just as bad as a normal teenage kid would.
Oh, man.
They love to just come up and they call you every name in the book for one if you have a spirit box or a portal box or anything like that. They'll call you every name in the book. They'll tell you that they are demons. They'll tell you that if I come walking up, they'll call me Satan when I walk up.
Oh boy.
They're just
Oh shit.
they're hipsters and they're troublemakers. They love to do it. And everybody, I've watched so many episodes of different ghost hunting groups and everything like that. You go into a building and you might get activity here, you might get activity there, you might get activity. Every time you come into Broadhead Manor, I guarantee you 90% of the time you will get something somewhere because they like to interact. They like to do everything you want to play with. If you have toys, they're going to play with you.
Mm-hmm.
Your portal boxes are and obelisks, stuff that's not supposed to come across your obelisk because the vocabulary is not there. They'll make things happen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jenny, they did get Dan that afternoon. They called him Fatso and Prick.
Yeah, but it only happens to Dan though. Like I use the Phasma box. Everyone's real respectful with me. As far as I know, Jen's never had a problem.
Oh no, I've never been called any names. Just
I don't think Steve's ever had a problem.
no.
But I do know there was one location where I think Jen was doing the Estes, and I think it was an SB7. And it was talking crap about Dan through Jen.
He wasn't even around, right? Like he was in the other room.
He was upstairs. We were in the basement together, and it was talking crap about Dan.
Yeah, they tend to really grab one person and just pick on them all night.
Even on the other side, I'm hated.
You're not hated, Dan. We love you.
We love you, Dan. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I don't give a damn. So,
Listen, when a device that says profanity that's not supposed to say profanity, say what you want, but that's pretty significant. It just sucks
I would say that's significant.
The same person.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I have to say, Dan and Larry were the first two people to ever investigate Broadhead Manor. We reached out to them because when we were running the haunted house our first year, we were experiencing things that I just couldn't explain, and I'm a total skeptic. I will call out. I will try to debunk. I will try. Even the people today that come in, I try to prove them wrong. Just to make sure that I'm not crazy. There were times that I'd be up on a scaffolding and you feel little needles poking your leg like fingernails.
Oh.
And you're like, okay, it's just the blood not circulating in your legs because you're standing on the scaffolding for so long. But then when you look down, you got little red pokes on your arm or on your legs, little marks.
Oh my God.
Something different.
That's messed up.
I've also had that same scaffolding hit with a football player and almost knocked me to the ground. If you don't lock the wheels, they will roll you down the hall. We also had a clown named Bob that was sitting up on a basketball hoop, which is about 14 feet in the air. When we put him up, we aimed him looking directly at the door so that when people walked in, they'd freak out looking at that clown as soon as they came in.
That would do it.
We came back about a week later. He's looking the other direction. Well, his shoulders, head, and neck are all stationary. They cannot move. Only his body can move. So something is moving his body into a shape where he's looking different directions. That's when I said, that's enough. I'm calling Dan and Larry in. We got him in. And the first thing that Dan and Larry said straight out to me was, call 3 to 4 other paranormal groups in here and make sure they don't know anything about it. Let them go through, let them see what they find. It's just verification on my part. And it was funny because every group that came in after them told me exactly what Dan and Larry found. In every sense of the word. Every area they were getting things that Dan and Larry got. Down in the janitor's quarters, down up in the principal's office, down the hallways. Certain rooms have more energy than others. I would say 25% of it would probably be residual, wouldn't you say, Dan?
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of intelligent haunts going on there.
We definitely have 4 kids. We've got Elizabeth, Norman, Thomas, and Charlie. Dan has crossed all but Charlie over. He's crossed them on, and they keep coming back. They say they love Broadhead Manor. They love me. They love the way the building is. And like Jenny Davis just said, while we were doing the interview portion of we just finished up the interview portion of the episode for Expedition Entity, a door that was latched shut unlatched itself and opened right in front of us.
Yeah.
Dan and both
we kind of jiggled it and moved it a little bit, and it kind of sticks at a certain point. You can't open it without really pulling it.
Right. Dan and I even hit the wall to see if we could get it to jar and pop open like that. Couldn't do it. So they're intelligent. They know what they're doing, and they're learning. Every group that comes in, they learn more and more and more. For people who do the flashlights, the mag lights, they put them on a table. Not only do they turn the lights on and off, they'll roll them and aim them at you.
What?
Yes. So
that is crazy. Holy crap.
I've got it on video. Our neighbor Reba came over and she was sitting at the table and we set 2 flashlights up and the first flashlight turned on and it was aimed right in her face and she was blinded by it. She asked politely, she goes, "Could next time you turn that on, could you aim it at Bill because I don't like the flashlight mod?" None of us saw that flashlight move, but the next time that flashlight came on, it was right in my eyes.
Wow.
Holy crap.
So there's it's mainly Elizabeth that really plays around the table around me all the time. She's not attached to me. She is actually, quote unquote, I'm the father figure, and she gravitates toward me all the time. She actually plays hide and seek with people in the building. Well, me especially, because I'll tell her to go hide. And everybody asks, well, how do you play hide and seek with a ghost? Well, she goes out and hides, and as soon as I come into that room, she'll knock twice, and then you'll hear the footsteps run away when I tell her to go hide again.
That's awesome.
And we do that throughout the entire building. And if I get busy at doing something, she'll actually come find me, knock really hard, and tell me that I didn't come find her. So,
Wow.
She's good. I mean, it's very much intelligence. There's nothing that doesn't say it's not intelligent. Our 2 other spirits, Thomas and Norman, Norman loves to talk to me. What I've deduced from listening to everybody's REM or their ovulists and their spirit boxes after talking with them and during Estes sessions, I believe Elizabeth, Norman, and Thomas were the bullied kids. They're the ones that everybody bullied. They want to stay hidden a little bit, but they want you to know they're there. You know what I mean? And they still acted like that. Well, in a recent Estes session, we had Norman actually tell us that he's stronger since he's went to the light and came back through. Now he thinks he can bully the ones upstairs. So I've talked to him, but they all say they're stronger. Elizabeth said she's stronger, and Dan has been there and he can feel it with his dowsing rods. They do have more power than what they did before.
Why do you think that is?
Dan, you'd have to explain now when I can't. Why do you think they have more power?
I think once they're released from being stuck wherever they're at, their spirit can actually get its true potential, draw on the energy that's always been available to them. But for some reason, they couldn't, get it all because they were stuck there or they chose to stay there, whatever the case may be. But Larry and I've crossed quite a few spirits over the years, and usually when they come back, they have a little more energy available to them. I don't know if it's power or, I'm sorry, guys, my dog's barking at everything tonight, so I do apologize.
Buddy.
It's he's a moron. But I think that there's more energy available to them once they have crossed because now they're not stuck there.
Right.
It's just a theory I have. Other people, psychics and stuff may have a different opinion, and that's okay. That's one.
I like to use the analogy of the Golden Superman. Do you guys ever see that comic?
No.
So Lois Lane dies, and then Superman goes into banishment, and he flies off into the sun, and he stays in the sun for I think it's 1,000 years, and he becomes so overpowered in the sun that he now is Golden Superman, and he's at a ridiculous level of strength. because
see where you're going with this, with the light,
right.
I get what you're saying.
So
like
on Earth, they're Earth strong, but once they go up to the sun or wherever they go, then they become stronger, and then when they come back, now they can inflict that strength back on Earth again.
Right. So yeah, with those 3 kids alone, I have my hands full.
Yeah, and then you get the 4 of us show up.
And, they like playing with all of you because they're comfortable with you guys.
Sure.
They do sense negative energy. If you have negative energy and walk into that building shuts down.
Oh, really? Like it just wants the positive.
They hide. They hide around the corners. They hide from you. They don't want to be around negative energy. You come in joyful, happy, pop, like Jenny always is. You come in and you're bouncing off the walls. They're going to bounce off the walls with you.
Definitely. I mean, it's like people, I guess, I mean, when somebody's got that negative attitude towards you, I'm not going to go out of my way to be your friend, forget about it. I'm going to be a little bit more resistant. So.
Right.
Agreed.
And well, over the years, people don't like to be talked down to. They just like to be talked to. And,
right.
If you go in there acting like an asshole, you're not going to get anybody to talk to you. We always try to approach everything very respectful. We always reassure the spirits that we're not there to be disrespectful or disrespect them. We know we're on their turf. And, in the 13 years that Larry and I have been working together, we have never had a problem communicating with spirits, either with Ghost Box, Phasma Box, EVPs, whatever, dowsing rods. The thing is right now, guys, I'm noticing all the time there's a lot of stir in the paranormal community lately, and there's no wrong way to do this. If it works for you, I've always said, if it works for you, keep doing it. Apparently you're doing something right. And, everybody's, well, you can't use this. You can use anything you want. And if you're getting results, you're getting those results for you in the first place. So whatever everybody else, when we were all on Paranormal Warehouse a few years back, I was very vocal about what I believed in. If you notice, you don't see me get a lot into the discussions on Facebook anymore because
no, you don't.
There's no reason to argue with people that you're not going to change their mind anyway. It's just wasting your energy.
That's like when people come into the building. When people do come into the building, you use what you want to use. The only thing I don't allow in our building is seances, and I will not allow Ouija boards. We had one Ouija board come into the building at one time just as a prop for our Halloween, our haunted house. That building became alive. There were things happening that nobody could explain. There were shadows everywhere. You'd see shadows walking right down the hall. Right in plain sight.
Those are powerful, and if you don't know how to use them or control that, I mean, it can get out of control fast.
As soon as we got it out of the building, we found it and got it out of the building. That building went to total peace, total calm. Everything was fine, and then they started messing with us again. So, I mean, there's just too many things we cannot explain that is sort of explained by the different paranormal groups that come through. And I love it because, like I said earlier, it makes me feel like I'm not going insane. And when everybody talks about the show on Netflix with Nick Simons and Aaron G with the 28 Days Haunted, they only spent 28 days in a building. Spend 5 years in a building. I stay there. I live there. I do a lot of stuff in there. And 9 times out of 10, from April through November, I'm there 6 days a week doing some type of work. I'm spending the night up there every night, and the kids jump up and down on the bed to keep me awake all night, and they actually put impressions at the end of the bed, and you can see them physically happen.
Something crawls on your ceiling too.
Yes.
Oh,
Took me
Does
a
it
long
slow down
time
in
to
the
go to sleep that
summertime,
night.
like when they're on summer break?
Nope.
Well, if they're on summer break, wouldn't that be worse?
And I also try to tell people that, you want to come in and investigate Broadhead Manor, don't come in at night. You don't have to come in at night. You can come in at 7 o'clock in the morning and this building starts and it doesn't quit. We do a lot of daytime investigations. The last one we did was all daytime. Their second floor episode is all daytime investigation.
Well, it would make sense that you would have a lot of daytime stuff.
Yeah, being a school and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically Broadhead Manor in a nutshell.
A lot of people think it always has to be at night, though. And it's just, I think that's more for the effect sometimes.
It's not so much the effect. I mean, don't get me wrong, like things look spookier in the dark, but it's also about control. You can control audio better at night because the world is asleep. There's less traffic. There's less people playing music. There's less people on their phone yelling outside the window.
Nobody's mowing the lawn at night.
No one's mowing the lawn. You'll still get planes and trains and stuff like that, but whatever. But it's easier to control audio. And then it's easier to pick up those faint voices because you don't have to worry about the lawnmower going on down the block.
I didn't think about those.
Yeah.
I can see now. It makes sense. It does make totally sense.
When you're the guy that sits there and you got to listen to all the little voices and you're like, oh, lawnmower. All right. We're just going to throw this whole clip out. So, but luckily around the school, there really isn't very much noise, even during the day.
It's relatively quiet. Plus, we have 18-inch thick concrete walls all the way around that building.
Right.
It helps. That
helps a lot. Good in the old days.
Which is
to build them right.
Because, like during the interview where I heard those thumping and I'm like, are you guys tapping your foot? Because Dan taps and moves his leg all the time. So like I said something about it and it wasn't them. And I listened back and, to me, it sounds like someone's bouncing like a tennis ball.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
But if there were like outside noises, I could have never said that was in the room with us.
Right.
So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes total sense now. I always forget about the noise factor.
There's a lot of nuance,
I mean, I always prefer to do it at night. That's what I like to do it. But
yeah,
sure.
And I don't knock anybody for wanting to do it at night. I'm just letting everybody know you can come in the building and get a 24-hour playtime.
Right. Yeah. This is always happening.
And it really sucks.
I mean,
go ahead, Dan.
Oh, I was just going to say, over the years, Larry and I have caught just as much in the daytime as we have at night.
Some of our best photos are during the day because there's more UV light. And so Dan and I have this theory that the paranormal realm exists in the X-ray part of the light spectrum and above. And that's why under IR, you don't really see a whole lot typically. In visible light, you see a little bit more sometimes. In UV, you see a lot more. Well, then we think in X-ray and above, you'll see even more than that. Well, taking photos during the day, you're getting a lot more UV light because of the sun. So we have really clear full spectrum UV photos that we couldn't capture at night. But here's a dude standing in a cemetery with nothing but his head. Here's a kid reading a book. Here's two kids standing in a cemetery, all because it's during the day.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to say, I forgot.
If they ever find a way to like make an X-ray camera to where we can take X-ray photos without a giant machine and lead aprons, I'll be all over that.
That would be sick.
Somebody's got to figure that out sometime.
Right.
They will.
I'm gonna take a photo and it's gonna be all black, and then there's just gonna be a dude.
Yep.
I'll be like, I told you it was X-ray.
It's about time for the technology to catch up with the ghost hunting.
Yeah. Elliot, if you're watching this, please make me an X-ray camera.
He's the one to do it. He's the one to do it.
If you're watching this, please make Elliot make me an X-ray camera.
Not one when I'd love to see it when
he could probably do it.
X-ray camera and his face shows up as a skeleton.
Well, yeah, because a person would show up as a skeleton, but what if it's just a shape? There's no skeleton, it's just a shape.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's just energy.
Weird. But maybe plausible. Who knows? But you all heard it here. Dan and I have been saying since 2012, X-ray.
X-ray.
Yeah.
Expedition Entity Ray.
I think it's so awesome that you guys like have been in there so long, so you're like just investigating and exploring every part of it. Just to have a place like that would that's some of our dreams. I mean, not the business part of it, with all the fire stuff and all that, but just owning a place that that you could do your thing all the time.
See, I'm not a paranormal investigator. I've learned through all the different paranormal people how to use the equipment, they explain it to me how it's used. Dan and Larry have been number ones for teaching me everything that they know about this stuff. Like I said, I'm a skeptic. I will try to disprove any evidence that comes up in front of me. Like when people say, "Oh, I caught a shadow in a kip picture." No, that's the neighbor's peak of his roof. If you look in the window, it's the peak of his roof, not a shadow. Stuff like that. But there are pictures and photos in there, and I've even captured one on my own of a clear shadow standing in a doorway. Mm-hmm. And it's a dark headed, it's got a head, it's got a shoulder, it's got an arm, everything staring at me while I'm sitting in the gym. And I cannot disprove it. And I've had people try to disprove it and cannot disprove it.
Yeah.
That's the.
Well, and then Nick Sarlo got that crazy photo on the third floor of the shadow.
Yeah, the one that just appeared in the back distance. Right. That one, again, he did it right. He took a series of 5 or 6 photos, and the one photo has that shadow standing in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
I always have to watch out because I have that thing where you can see faces and everything.
Yep.
Like pareidolia, right?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having some.
I'll see faces and anything. Like, I think I was looking at my bathroom tile and I was like, "Who is that?"
Is that Elvis?
Like, what's going on here?
Makes it going a little more uncomfortable then.
Hey Shane, how's it going?
Listen, if Elvis wants to watch me go to the bathroom, that's on him.
That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love owning this building. I will keep it as long as I can. I'm not young anymore, so I bought this as just a retirement hobby to rehab this building.
BS.
Now I'm in love with the building, and I just can't seem to get away from it.
You're plenty spry, Bill. Come on.
I know. Not too many people believe that I'm 57, so
37?
57.
37. Got it.
I act like I'm 37 in the building.
You keep up with the rest of us, that's for sure, and then some. Because I'll
running
be like
laps around the building,
following Bill, and I'm just winded. And there's Bill just walking along. I'm like, okay.
There he goes.
Need a breath.
I was like, hold on, guys. I'm gonna go up to the 3rd floor. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah,
he will.
I don't go anywhere quickly anymore.
No.
Goose or Eisenberg, if you ever come up to Broadhead Manor, you have to be careful of one thing. I am the silent ninja. I will sneak up behind you without you even knowing I'm there.
You better bring your track shoes.
I have to say that the only time I'm not referred to as the old guy is when I'm with Bill. Because Bill still calls me kid. He goes, "Hey kid."
Yeah, I do. Every time I talk to him, "Hey kiddo, what's happening?"
You guys are literally the same age almost.
Not really. What are you, Dan?
No, he's 6 years older than me.
Okay, Dan's just turning 50.
It's okay.
But yeah, Jenny, I do call everybody kid.
Thank you, Mama Bear. Glad somebody sees me.
Yeah, I see you, Goose.
Oh, Ray, when did you get back?
I was looking for you, but all I saw was.
Yeah,
I know.
my internet. It's raining, so my internet is just going crazy.
Is it raining?
You too.
Yeah,
It's raining
It is
here too.
yeah. We just got new internet, and it's horrible, and I hate it, but it's cheaper, so I got to deal with it for now.
Sacrifices.
Sure.
But,
I know it's funny. I was like, I couldn't tell if you were on, but I could hear your voice every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be frozen like this. Just like
I hope you
sitting
didn't
there.
hear me swearing and throwing shit around and breaking shit all over the place.
We would have liked to hear that.
I'm okay with it.
Damn it.
You know what is that called? Destruction therapy.
There you go.
Right.
Just
Yeah, I
start
had my
throwing
own
stuff.
break room. My wife wasn't happy about that. So what's going on up in April up there?
We got Spirit in the Springs
Something about
happening.
Just a little get together, a couple people, 200,
300 for
Yeah.
500.
7.
Just vendors alone, we're going to have at least 150, if not 200 people just from the vendors.
Yeah,
We have 50 vendor spots.
That's
We
awesome.
average 2 people per table.
we've got 4,
And,
5.
yeah,
Technically,
a lot of them have 4 people, so there's at least that many people for that. We have 15 speakers coming in. Expedition Entity is one of the speakers that are going to be doing that, doing their
Nice.
little spiel on stage. I get to do my spiel on stage. It'll be a good time. I mean, it is April 22nd from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. I wish we would have had at least 2 days, but Nick wanted to schedule it for 1 day and make sure it all worked for sure before we venture next year and do a bigger one.
There you go.
We
Dip
didn't
your
know how
toes
many
in.
people we were actually going to get until we opened up the vendor spots and they were sold out in 3 days.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait, Ginny.
So yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's
He's got
awesome.
all
I love
kinds of-
these Paracons. They're so much fun.
He says he's got a lot of games and things that he wants to do. I'm hoping everything goes smooth. He wants to have the world's largest paranormal conga line.
Oh my god.
Oh my
He also wants to do
Like Hands Across America.
pretty much.
Hands across Broadhead,
Nice.
but you got to go up and down the stairs 6 times. 'Cause otherwise, we'll never make it.
It's gonna end up being like the longest domino effect.
Right, right.
Whoa.
Danny Davis is gonna trip, and we're all gonna go.
It'll take the largest ambulance response team to this.
You better send.
Oh, yeah, all neighboring
Maybe
counties
in
show up in
other
Broadhead Manor.
Other cities and probably even other states.
Right.
It's a national emergency for the state of Wisconsin. Send everybody. Illinois,
Oh my
Iowa,
God,
Minnesota.
yeah.
Send them all.
Dang it. It was the world's longest paranormal conga line. Like, it's gonna sound
I
outrageous.
guess Patty Negri is going to be the lead person to start it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that.
Does she know
I can see
this?
that.
Her and Natalie Jones said they want to be number 1 and number 2.
Nice.
Damn shit.
There's a selfie contest.
Yeah,
There you
there's
go.
also going to be a selfie contest. See how many celebrities you can get your photo taken with. The most wins a prize.
Well, no one will be coming to our booth.
Nobody's going to come into mine either.
They'll be like, we only want Jen, Larry, Dan. No, you guys go away.
They don't know me.
Since I run a haunted house, I figured I'd dress up as Twisty that day and just come out and freak everybody out.
Ooh,
Oh,
there you
shit.
go, Bill.
Oh
There you
yeah, there
go.
you go. There you go.
Wow.
I'm going to hang out with Bill and the vodka.
Darn right.
Oh, jeez.
You got the vodka, I got the fireball.
So if you're doing the vodka, that means I'm doing the presentation. Is that what I'm hearing?
We already knew you were doing that, Larry.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to
Dan's
talk.
gonna be like, listen, I've talked too much. You go ahead, you do this.
Go ahead, Larry.
I'll watch the booth.
I'll watch the booth with
Hey, you
this
guys,
big cup of vodka.
Oh, God.
you guys throw in a supply of High Life and some karaoke. I'll be there.
Hey, I got karaoke machines.
We can do that.
We've got
That's champagne beers.
Our
Champagne
gym,
of beers.
If you look at our gymnasium, at one end, we have a full stage. That's where everybody's going to be speaking. And where I'm setting up Broadhead
Nice.
Manor and Expedition Entity and Nick Thompson and Aaron G is in our concession stand. That's at the other end of the gym. So I've got a full refrigerator. I've got everything in my booth.
And we're guarding
Nice.
the urinals. Yeah.
Mhm.
We just went out and bought a special table for Dan and Larry. It's 12 feet long.
Nice. Nice.
I got a lot of stuff to put on that table, trust
Oh
me.
God, we know, Larry. Oh my God.
I got a lot of things they put out and be like,
Yes, you
buy
do.
our books, buy our merch. Look at this
I was
cool
gonna say,
picture of everybody.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be so broke. I have so many plans. It's like,
I-
You need to stay away from Ron's gift shop.
oh God, I'm so excited. Saturday, I'm coming. Bill, I'm making all these plans because I'm gonna come for Ruth. I can't wait. I'm making all these notes to let you know what I'm. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Jen's like, can I get a custom order set up? Or
Literally.
Nice.
My business partner does all the decorating and he does all the. He makes everything we have in our building, from our statues to our little tiny ornaments all over the place, to our T-shirts, to our.
Amazingly talented.
We do
Oh, wow.
bumper stickers. We do everything for whoever needs it. And he created an entire witchcraft line of. He
Oh, shit.
designed his own witch boards. He's designed his own pendulum boards. He's designed all different kinds of things with crystals and dice.
Mhm.
Nice.
You name it. He hand stamps all his little dice. And he's got a product line that is going to amaze everybody when they see him this year.
He's gonna
I can't
blow
wait.
them all away. Seriously.
That is awesome.
So all
Next
in all,
year.
it's gonna be
Next
fun.
year. Better be a next year. First of all, there better be a
I'm
next
praying
year.
there's a next year, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All you need is the high life and Ray's there.
Well, depending how this one goes, Bill might need to plan one for a whole week.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so there's 700 people. We need to like do this like 100 a day. Come on.
Yeah.
I go back to Shane. He said he hopes it goes all month. I think people are
Yeah.
getting a little crazy with this.
Now, Shane is from Rhode Island. He got a hold
Okay.
of me personally, and we were talking about the building and the episodes with Expedition Entity and other
Yeah.
people that have done episodes there. He was a fan of the building from probably about 2 or 3 months ago. And him and I have been talking on the phone and stuff like that. And I asked him, I said, are you coming to Spirits in the Spring? And he's like, well, I don't really have the money for the hotels, the travel out and everything. So I
Yeah.
told him, basically, if you can make it there, the weekend's on me.
Oh wow.
So he's staying there from Friday through Sunday.
He's
And
got to get the
awesome.
broadhead experience. That's for sure.
She deserves it, man.
We'll
Shane's
get the
good dude.
full Monty.
The VIP package.
VIP.
he's
He's
been,
gonna leave Sunday and he's be like, I never want to see Broadhead Manor again.
Right.
These
No.
damn ghosts wouldn't stop jumping on my bed.
he's gonna leave there saying, thank God I'm away from Bill.
He keeps sneaking up to me in the middle of the night in that damn twisty costume. Like, Bill, I'm trying to sleep. Honk, honk.
Hey, the twisty costume is much better than my big.
All I can say, Shane, all I can say is if you get an attachment, make sure it's one that can drive because you'll need to sleep on the way home.
So all the kids are out. None of the kids.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's what cruise control's for.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
You know,
Oh, Shane.
set it, go to sleep, wake
I
up,
hope so,
see what
Shane.
happens.
I dare you.
The
So-
Peyton Randolph House in Williamsburg, Virginia. I've never
That's the
even
first time.
been to Virginia, but I'd love to.
Yeah, I've
I'm up
never-
for
that's the
anything.
first
with
time I've ever heard of
retirement.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys come to Virginia, you gotta pick me up on the way.
Hell
Yeah, right.
Do that.
Listen, I
How
don't
would
know
that
if you've
make
ever
sense? They'd
seen
have to
my
go all the way
car.
out of their way, wouldn't they?
If you've ever seen
Don't-
my
don't
car
worry
with all
about
my
that.
gear,
We're not
I don't
talking
know
about
if we've got
logistics.
room for anybody else.
Yeah, but you see, the
Like,
thing is,
we're going
Fine,
to
I'll
the
drive
Michigan
myself.
Comic
I'm
Con.
gonna have to rent here now.
when we go to the Michigan Paracon, Jen's gonna be in my back seat like this against the door.
God, I'm so glad. I'm just
Oh,
because
shit.
I know how Larry packs the car like it's the game of Jenga. Like it's down to a science the way he packs that car. Like literally, it'll be just
yeah.
enough room for me and my bag on my lap. I just know it. I know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, yeah. When
We'll
we were
set a bag of
filming a
Cheetos there for you,
documentary,
Jenny.
yeah, we were filming our documentary, and she's like, "Wow, that space is perfectly sized for my bag." I'm like, "Yeah, it's almost like I planned it that way." What do you know? And then it's
See him
just
up
like
till like 3 o'clock in the
"Mwah."
morning, mapping
Fit
the whole
perfectly.
thing out. Like, okay, we
Yeah,
got this here.
that's exactly how I imagine him too. Just calculating, like just
No.
being off
He's figuring out how to make sure it's balanced properly.
One of the most hilarious
Big
things
storyboard
is,
back here. Okay, we're
Yes.
one of the most hilarious
Yes.
things is when Dan, Larry, and Jenny show up in this little tiny packed car, and here comes Steve pulling up in his Jeep, all laid back and chilling
Spacious as
out.
hell.
Empty, empty. The Jeep has nothing but Steve in it.
What's up, Nat?
Hey, Nat.
Hi, Nat.
Nat.
Yes.
Tell Elliot he needs to make me an X-ray camera for hunting ghosts. Now is my moment.
Yeah,
I
Sure,
need
we'll get
an
right on it.
X-ray
That's cool,
camera.
Lauren.
I'm telling you, I think Elliot would be the person that could do it.
Elliot
I think so
is the
too.
best
Oh, yeah.
that could
Fuck
do
yeah.
it.
He'd be, you could
You
literally
can figure it out.
carve
Oh,
your
that's
name
awesome,
into
Lauren.
the side of it, and I'll show that name everywhere. Trust me.
We miss you too, Jenny.
Oh, you know what else I can
No,
show you
Elliot.
guys? What Elliot gave me? I'll show you. Hold on.
Oh,
There he
speaking
is.
of gold,
There he is.
Look at this thing.
no. What I do?
Look at this.
It's not what you did; it's about what you're going to do.
He made us an Expedition Entity coffin box.
Yeah,
Hold
that
on,
thing is
hold it-
so
hold on,
sweet,
hold on.
man.
There you go.
So it says Expedition Entity in the top, and it's
That
a
is awesome.
casket,
Yes.
and
the
it's
thing
a
is that-
spirit box. Look at this thing.
Mhm.
And it runs off the
It's
battery on the
sweet.
bottom, so we don't have to worry about anything. And then it's got
Yeah.
our name on it.
Yeah, Elliot's a tech god.
Look
Literally.
at this. This is so cool.
That is awesome.
It is sick.
Whoa, whoa.
I'm gonna
Whoa,
I'm
we
gonna
don't
put
wanna see
Elliot
that.
on the spot here. I'm still waiting.
Oh, no.
I was promised mine before
Okay.
Larry's.
You want to see what else is
Elliot.
cool about this thing? Look at this. Watch. Ready? It's magnetic. I don't have to take it apart. It's magnetic.
Right.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Elliot, they want you to invent an X-ray camera
That says Elliot's
X-ray camera.
that you can carry.
I know
Not like
you
the whole
learned
big
that.
thing.
Like if you could make it like
Right.
this big, an X-ray camera.
Elliot, I'm only messing with you. It's okay. Everything is fine. I'm not mad at you.
A Volkswagen wagon looking box of them.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Man.
Cool.
Bad idea.
Nice.
Oh, no.
I have to tell Elliot I'm very proud of him because he is amazing trying to go to school, trying to work, trying to make all these
Oh, yeah.
boxes, trying to get everything out for everybody. He's got a big heart and everything is I'm hoping everything looks up for him and he gets everything he deserves. I mean, he's a great kid.
And then he's got to deal with us too.
Great people. Great people.
Well, Elliot, we expect you to figure that out.
Yes.
The whole-
Yeah.
Right, that's part of the
Listen.
job, man.
We need a genius to do this, and I know one.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole time, the whole
name rhymes with
55
Belliot.
minutes.
Yep, the whole
Yeah.
time
Oh,
Elliot,
yeah.
you've been one been talking about
I'm
it.
just like, man, have you seen his little water box that shoots up water when the sound comes out? Yeah,
That's
I'm telling
cool.
you, it's cool. It is cool.
It's really cool. I want to get Elliot to help me make a nuclear reactor in my basement.
Oh, shit. Wow.
You can
Hey.
probably do it.
Slow
If
down.
I'm going to be
Why
on the
talk
watch
to ghosts?
Yeah,
talk to
if
ghosts
I'm
when
going
you
to
can
be on the
become
watch
one?
list, I'm going to be on there for something good.
Oh, no.
Dan, let's get Elliot up to the building because we've got those
There you
two big ass boilers that we could really make 2 nuclear power plants in that damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot for
One
the
thing about
stars,
our
Elliot.
building is one thing about our building is we do have the original 1906 boilers that are in the building that can never be used.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But when you look at these boilers from the front, they look pristine like they were put in 1906. They have not changed.
Did I
They're
send you
dirty,
a
they're
picture
not
of those, Goose?
marked. They're not anything.
I don't know.
You should have a
I think you
picture
may
of
have.
them, Larry.
If I didn't send it to you, I can put one on my screen here real quick.
Guys, I gotta
It's one
step
of the,
up for just 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I
it's
will
one
be
of the better
right
points
back.
of the building. Looking at it, it gives you that creep factor that you would not believe.
I'm afraid to even try to pull up Facebook with the way my internet's been working.
Yeah, don't do it.
Here,
Don't do it.
try, I did a screen share. See if you can make that work.
Yeah.
There they are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some beautiful boilers.
That's beautiful.
I mean, we
That's
try
real
to
cool.
keep them looking as pristine as possible, but
Right.
Yeah.
it's hard. Trust me, it is hard.
But like
Those look brand new.
this doesn't show you the mass size of them though.
Right.
When Dan and Larry,
let's
or
see.
when Dan and I were standing next to those boilers doing the interview, Dan and I we're big guys, and we look small in front of one of them.
Here.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who made those?
Go
Because
ahead and-
wasn't there a certain boiler place that made the one for Anadine?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Sterling double boiler. It was like 2 stories high. It took
Yeah.
up a whole building by itself, and it
Well,
heated the
these-
whole farm.
These take a 1-story room.
There they are.
basically.
Yeah.
That's how big those boilers are.
They are
Holy
huge.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says Chattanooga, Tennessee, all over it.
Right?
Yep.
Which is where our friend Miranda's from.
Yep.
Although I think she moved, so still in the area.
That was really cool.
Big boilers.
See, I
You
love
can
seeing
actually-
stuff like that. Like even if I
You can
were to go to a
actually
place like
crawl
that,
in the bottom of those boilers and walk around inside them.
holy crap!
Everybody.
Have fun, Heisenberg.
I
You'll do
remember-
that for us, right?
What?
I remember Bill said, Bill told me, he goes, Dan, you can crawl into that boiler, and all I could think of is, yeah, I'll get stuck in there and look like Winnie the Pooh. No way.
It's like this.
Ain't happening.
What's up, Steve?
I gotta go.
All right, Steve, you
All
have
right,
a great
Steve.
day.
Have a good
Thanks
night,
for hanging out with
Stevie.
us, man.
Yep.
Be
Have a
safe.
good night.
It's been an hour already. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yes,
goes
James,
fast, and
you
I've been-
definitely can crawl in one. I'll let you crawl in there any day. I got doors that I can close.
We used to have a person on our team that would do that,
Yeah.
but he
I
moved
miss
to
Trent.
Arizona.
We used to call him the mole. Yeah.
He would fit into anything. He didn't care.
I know. Dude, you totally need to go in there. All right. I mean,
Okay.
Hey,
called
Goose.
him the mole. It didn't matter how big it was. Yeah.
Can I share one of my favorite pictures from the investigation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, go ahead.
Oh, there it is.
Look at these 2 rock stars.
Nice.
Look at the concentration on Jen's face. She's just like,
I know.
what is going on?
Is she taking
And then Jenny's completely oblivious to everything. She's just saying things, but like 99% of the time it correlates to what Jen's asking. And
Yeah.
and me and Steve are behind the camera going, what the hell's going on? This is really creepy.
Yeah, me and Jim together had a pretty great time. I mean, just oh my god, just from the beginning to the end, like it started with us chasing this ghost all the way all over your building. We were hearing it. It was literally like taking us on this little goose chase from like the upstairs, like was it the music room, right? I think it was the music room, and that little back
Yeah.
stairwell there. We could hear literally like steps coming down the stairs, and then I shit you not, what we thought was like I don't know, some sort of crackling. We realized it was the gym snoring. As if something just walked right down the bottom steps into the gym, and it was just the spookiest shit. And that was like my first entrance into the night. Like this was like a little gateway to what was about to unfold later. And yeah, it was just so ominous. I don't know. Broadhead is just such a treat. Oh my god. I don't even remember where I was going with that story. I had a point. I forgot.
I do that often.
Yeah.
90% of the time, that's what our show is. No point.
Yeah,
just rolling
I
with
got
punches.
distracted.
Like
I
I said,
we
like
get here,
earlier, I
but
was
let's
talking.
go.
I said I lost my train of thought. I was
Yeah,
even in the middle.
I was going somewhere with
Try to
it.
go down a deep paranormal rabbit hole and you end up talking about nachos or something.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Listen, there was one time that we were investigating, and Bill just walks out with a tray of food, and he's like, "Here you guys go." I'm like, "Where the hell did this come from?"
Bravo.
But thank you, this is great. But where did you pull this tray of food out of?
Cafeteria.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's awesome.
Dan and Larry love coming up because I can grill right there at the building, and they get the most
Oh,
awesome
yeah.
steaks.
Let me tell you, we went to Bill's house and did that Spirits in the Spring viewing of the cast and crew. Some of the
Yeah.
best food I've ever met in my life.
Nice.
The multiple layer, what was it, lasagna that you made that one time? Oh my god. Oh, Bill, such good food.
I love to cook.
Well,
And
you do it
everybody
well.
You usually
Now tell me about this multi-layered lasagna here.
He had
Welcome to
ricotta
hour
in
2
there.
of the Cryptic Paranormal Food Show.
It always
I-
turns into that.
Last
know it
night
does.
I made a pan of lasagna for everybody because we had a lot of people come over to the house last night. What we're talking multi-layered lasagna. You start out with a layer of sauce, then noodles, then meat with the seasoned meat, then cheese, then Parmesan cheese, then more noodles, then cottage cheese, ricotta cheese, and cream cheese mixed together with more mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese, then more noodles, then more
Holy
sauce.
crap, man.
Yes.
See, this is what every
6
paranormal
layers,
interview
if
should
not
have.
7.
I think
Food intermission.
I think you lost me at ranch.
Yeah.
Was there something in there? Oh, the cottage cheese. Yeah, no, that's not happening.
It's,
Oh,
it's a thin layer that you will barely
Bill's
notice.
lasagna could be its own food group.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I went back for seconds. I'm just like, yeah, no, I got to keep going. Nope.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Get another
Bill
one.
is an awesome cook.
The steak
sure
you
beats
made was
beef jerky
awesome.
and Skittles.
Yeah.
What
most,
I'm used to.
most everybody that comes up to the building to investigate, you guys come in with a bag of Cheetos and chips and Monster Energy drinks and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm a great host. I like to make sure people have real food. So usually during the night, I'll pull out all kinds of hot dogs and throw them on the roller and whip up a can of chili. You'll have
French
chili
fries.
and cheese dogs and multiple chips. You'll have all kinds of stuff.
Yes, you're a great host, Bill. I remember we had sausages or whatever you made that night we were out there.
Sausages, yeah.
Yeah,
Hamburgers.
those
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yes.
It's whatever I've got in the freezer there. I just start pulling out stuff, whip it up, and if you guys want to eat. If
Yep.
not, I don't really care. And Nat and Elliot are both vegetarians, so what do they want?
Yeah.
French fries. So I made
French
them
fries.
Yep.
at least 5 pounds of French fries. They had a blast.
And Nat has said something about popcorn twice, so it must be a
Yes.
thing.
I've got an authentic, big, industrial-sized popcorn machine.
Holy crap.
So
You're going to need it at Spirits in the Spring.
I start making popcorn, and I'll fill this entire box up with popcorn. It's got the right amount of butter or buttery oil and all that stuff. And you can add, there's 7 or 8 different shakers of different flavors you can put to your popcorn. And yeah, we do it up.
I don't know. This is starting to sound more like a getaway vacation than a.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Listen,
Which
if you guys
I'm
do
down.
not go to
Totally down.
Broadhead, you are missing out.
I mean, I'm not a
Broadhead is
fan
the
of
place to
popcorn,
go.
but I'd be interested to. I like the big popcorn popper things. So
Yes.
He
Pretty
just likes
cool.
watching it made. Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Okay.
Well, and then you're investigating. You're like, what's that smell? Oh my god, it smells like popcorn. All right, wrap this up. We gotta go downstairs. Come on,
Right.
we're going downstairs.
That's all
Later,
I get
ghosts.
everybody
I'm
back
out.
into the gym.
Popcorn.
and your variety of seasonings. That's the way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
right,
kettle
yep.
corn, you got nacho, you got jalapeno, you've got habanero, you've got ghost pepper, you've got all these different salts that you shake onto it.
See, I knew we'd get nacho
Nice.
into this somehow.
And yes,
Here you go, Goose. There's the nachos.
I do have a
Nachos.
nacho machine, Goose.
Nachos.
Oh my god, dude.
We run a haunted house. We've got to have all the stuff.
It's like the
Oh, yeah.
Disneyland of haunted houses.
God, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
100%.
I mean, when we run the haunted house, I run a full concession stand. So if you want hot
Yeah.
chocolate, I can make you double chocolate. I can make you mint and chocolate. I can make you amaretto and chocolate. I can make you vanilla.
Wait a minute. I didn't know this was an option.
That's all the flavor. I've got 30 different flavors of hot chocolates. So
Holy crap, dude.
I'm gonna remember that for the next time I go up there, which I won't say
I
when.
keep those hidden.
Okay.
I mean,
I feel like I'm going to take my next vacation there.
you can. I mean,
Right?
I've already
There's
invited you guys up. So,
There's a great in town.
I mean, there's 7 different bars. There's just down the street from us, not even 5 blocks away. There's 2 pizza places. There's
Yeah.
a little Chinese restaurant. There's all kinds of stuff there.
Stay
That
away
pizza
from
place
the-
we go to is really good.
Yeah, Villa Pizza's really good.
Yeah. So, has anyone noticed we haven't talked about ghosts in like 30 minutes? We've been
Yeah,
talking
so
about
what's your point?
food.
Welcome to the Cryptic Paranormal Show.
Yeah, this is the best show ever.
I didn't
Well,
know.
instead of talking about ghosts, I can talk to you about the Bigfoot that runs through our building.
What?
We have a
Is his
bald-headed Sasquatch that
Bill?
runs through that building.
Now
Oh,
we're talking.
If the paranormal group seems like they're not having that much fun,
Yeah.
I will actually put on my Bigfoot costume and go hide on the 3rd floor and wait for
oh my
them
god!
outside.
I was so confused for a second. I was trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about. Like,
The bald-headed Bigfoot.
I didn't care about this. Like,
Seriously, I'll liven
That's
you
worth
up
the
and
trip alone. I mean,
I'm not going to lie, I'd
I'll
run.
scare
I'd
the
probably
shit
jump
out
down all the stairs.
pretty much. I make sure they're on flat foot. And if they're going to run, they're not going to hit a wall.
I can hit a wall really easily. I mean,
So,
amazingly.
I had a group of 5 kids up there. They were about between the ages of 21 and 25. They were a paranormal investigating group. They came up. I happened to
That's
do
really
a show.
Wonka.
I was doing a podcast with somebody, Darren Buss and Taryn, I can't think of her last name, but I was doing their podcast and we wanted to scare Taryn. So I brought my character Bobo, which is a clown, and I dressed up as Twisty. Well, as soon as she appeared on the screen, she's like, nope. And she signed right off.
That's funny.
Well, fast forward, we finished the show. These kids are upstairs investigating on the 3rd floor. Well, I went walking up there to ask them if they wanted anything from the gas station because I was going to run down there and pick up something to drink and stuff. And I walk up to the top of the stairs on the 3rd floor, and I'm just a silhouette in the doorway. All they see is 3 tufts of hair sticking out of the top of my head and this big silhouette figure standing in the doorway. One kid darted back in. He's like, oh my God, there's this big ass kid. I'm standing down in the hallway. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. And by the time the rest of them got out into the hall, started coming out into the hallway, I
Yeah.
was standing right there at that door.
Oh,
So
shit.
as soon as they came out, they see this Twisty standing there.
Dude,
In my hand.
that-
They were freaking
that- That's where I sit there and think, I'm going to have to take this clown down.
That's the fastest I've ever seen anybody run 3 flights of stairs in my life.
I'd be like, I can't run away. I got to take him down.
Right.
I got to get him before he gets me.
Yep.
Or if your wife is there, Heisenberg, you'll be like, take him downstairs. I'll be down in a minute.
Yeah. Well, she's the strongest of us two. That's why I sent him down with you.
I mean,
It's so
It's
funny
always-
because like a few times we've investigated at Madison Seminary up by us, which you guys got to come check out.
Yeah.
There's like on the 3rd floor, there's been a few times where I've kind of had an instance of, I don't know what you want to call it, being taken over. I don't want to say possessed. I hate that word, and it's not what was happening. I was just taking on a lot of energy.
You were influenced.
I was influenced, and I was not the person inside my head at the moment. And I guess they could see it in my eyes, because then this dark cloud starts forming around me. It gets really creepy. Heisenberg's like, and I start coming out of it. Everybody's like, "You okay?" And Heisenberg turns to his wife. He's like, "Why don't you take Ray downstairs?" Like, she's the one. Like, she's like the security guard.
She's a nurse. I was helping you out, dude.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
If you'd
Get
have
Ray
lost
out
your
of here.
balance or something, she would have been right there.
Right. He's
you go.
freaking me out. You
So
take him,
actually-
please, honey.
Madison
Save me.
Seminary is on the list of locations for us to consider for next year.
Very nice.
So it is on the list. We haven't chosen anything yet, but it is on the
Right.
list. And it is 7 hours away from us, you two, by the way, just in
Ooh.
case.
You're not that far. What the hell? I do that in an everyday trip.
7 hours?
I travel to Missouri once a month.
Yeah, you
9
do.
hours down and 9 hours back, and I do that in a weekend.
You do. You do.
Awesome, Jenny. Is that when the FC Icon is?
I don't
I
know.
gotta look at our schedule. I'll remember the week before when I see it pop up on my calendar.
Mm.
Oh, yeah,
Fairfield
there's
brought
a
me
con
back.
this weekend.
Fairfield brought me back a little bit, because I had gotten to the point where I had not
Yeah.
heard nothing for like years, actually 2 years. And I was laying on a table in Fairfield, and I heard,
And
Ray
I was
heard
sitting
it?
on the table right. Yeah, I was sitting on the table right next to him, and I heard it plain as day. To the point where I'm like, "What the?" I'm looking around because there were people across the hallway from us actually doing an EVP session.
well, that was
But
right
this was
in
not
my.
them. It was like right in the room with us. We're like, holy
That is
shit.
unnerving. That's creepy.
Right. And we were so cold. I mean, I think we were focusing on staying warm the whole night. And you just, it's freezing.
Yeah, I broke
And I
my
was like-
coat.
No.
Oh, you poor baby. Which one? You had 5 on.
The outer one, because I had too much stuff on, broke the zipper. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Geez, that sounds like Broadhead.
You can't have enough coats in Broadhead,
Oh my
especially
God.
this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
If it's
Not in
60
the winter
degrees
time.
outside, I'll guarantee you this time of year it's going to be between 20 to 30 degrees inside. That concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You would not
Yeah.
believe it's great up until the middle of July because we have our own air conditioning just with the concrete.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That building from about May to July stays at about 60 to 68 degrees.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's nice.
what temperature is it in August, Bill, when you're
Once the
filming
heat
16
hits-
hours in the building?
Yeah, once the heat hits and that heat stays for a while,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
that building will remain at 90 degrees inside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Goose, when you watched the first episode we did at Broadhead from season 1,
Yeah.
you could watch the sweat drip down their faces. It's so damn hot in that
Oh,
building.
shit.
It
It
is
was
so
hot.
Yeah.
I was in shorts and a
Madison-
tank top.
Yeah, I would
We
say
were
Madison.
in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah. Madison Seminary is the same exact way. It's no matter cold it is, it's at least 20 to 30 degrees colder in the building.
It's
Yes.
perfect
And
one
then
day in
it's a-
June.
One day in June is the only day, and it's usually a day that we can't get there.
Mhm.
But then, because as soon as July hits, forget it. It's about 30 degrees hotter. I mean, we're talking
Stifling.
probably 105 at least. Yeah.
Oh,
That's miserable.
Oh,
Jenny, we'll see you. Jenny, we're going to see you there because we will be at Parapsychon this year.
all right.
Look
So
for
Dan, make a mental note. We're not going to Madison Seminary in the summer.
Yeah.
This is a fall, winter, spring only location.
Fall's pretty good. Fall's nice.
Fall's not
I can
bad.
see fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring a little on the colder side, but we can always layer up. There's only so much you could take off, and when you're a fat guy, you don't want to take very much off.
Oh, jeez.
We're gonna keep all this on.
Right.
No one wants to see
That's
that.
what I do when I go into the cold. I usually layer. So I can take off if I need, put back on if
Yeah.
I need.
Mhm.
One big coat just doesn't do it.
I guess I layered too much at
It's called-
Fairfield.
Yeah, that's what we call the fat guy index.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
I'll attest to that.
Natural
That's
padding
true.
keeps me nice and warm. Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Natural
Darn right.
insulation.
That's why I can't lose weight in the winter, because I need it for being in that building. I need that extra layer of support.
You'd never survive. You'd turn into
Yeah.
a bilsicle.
I mean, I still spend
Nice.
the night up there every now and then when it's 30 degrees out. So
Yeah.
you get enough blankets, you're nice and toasty, and you just don't want to get out of bed to go take a piss.
So I got to ask, how did Expedition Entity start? Like, how did you guys all meet? I know Larry and Dan, you guys known each other for longer than my wife and I have been together.
Yeah.
We found out that
Actually,
out before the show.
This
But
is the
how did you guys
third
find each
version
other?
of Expedition Entity.
Oh yeah.
So, Dan, you want to talk about the first two?
No.
So
He's like,
Not really.
we don't talk about the dark days.
Right.
Larry
Nice, Elliot.
Larry and I had approached him about wanting to do some sort of a structured show on YouTube because everybody, including us at the time, were just throwing out videos.
Nice, Larry.
And we I came up with a concept of the show. Let's call it Expedition Entity. And I said, I want to focus on the less well-known places that are out there. I said, we can all go to Waverly Hills and all these other big places that we can pay tons of money to go to. But I don't need to go there because everybody and their brother's already been there. And many of the people who've been there, I know as investigators, I trust that it's haunted. I don't want to go and prove that it's haunted. I want to go and show what hauntings might be going on in places no one else goes.
Right.
And lo and behold, we go to these smaller places, these smaller cemeteries, and things are going on there.
Dan is really small there, Dan.
What's that?
I said Broadhead Manor is really small there, Dan.
Well, actually, I think Broadhead was our first big location.
The first time we went there, though, Broadhead wasn't on the map like it is now.
No, it wasn't.
So
very true.
Lesser well known is where Broadhead fell into. And, we talked about the Broadhead episode with Double T and Rockford on his radio show one morning. And Bill had talked to me and said, I had to have at least 20 calls after you guys were talking about it on the Rockford radio, just from people interested in the building, not investigators, but just, people calling, hey, what is this all about? But the word kind of got out about Broadhead, and I mean, it's going to be one of your premier spots here before too long. And
I let it.
Well, I people away with a stick.
And I'm happy to, I'm happy to have been able to be part of that in any way, shape, or form, just to be part of the Broadhead mythology that's really coming along. But after we did that and that concept, we went to a few places, and Larry and I kind of ducked out for a couple years. And then we got back to just ghost hunting and having fun. And we decided, and
2018.
we decided we wanted to do some production stuff. And not only, actually, we were kind of fed up with the paranormal stuff, and we wanted to do production stuff on a different level. Then COVID hit, and
fucking COVID.
After a while, we decided, you know what, let's go back to our roots. We'll start going to cemeteries again. We'll start doing this stuff. And we pulled some of the old episodes together and looked them over and decided, okay, this is what we don't want to do. This is what we will do. And
Yeah.
for the first season of Expedition Entity, Larry and I ran our rear ends off, putting in 18-hour days, just he and I, filming 5 of the 6 season 1 episodes.
Holy crap!
In like 6
Man,
weeks.
Holy
And
shit.
It was the
Wow.
worst ever. It sucked.
Oh, you loved every minute.
No,
but we got it. We got him shot, and we happened to submit our stuff to a lady named Natalie Jones that had just started up a network called Paraflix, and lo and behold, we're at, and I'm very happy where we're at. Natalie is one of the nicest people I've ever talked to, ever met.
Yeah.
And she's done a heck of a lot for us, and I'm very grateful. The big thing that we want to do eventually is we'll always do Expedition Entity, as long as Natalie wants us to. We've done some documentary stuff that's going to be coming out soon. We have some more documentaries on the horizon.
we got a fun future one with Bill eventually too.
Yes, we do. But about 3 years ago, I wrote this book that was loosely based on a lot of Larry's and my experiences. And Elliot had said earlier, let's talk about your book.
Yeah.
So those are stories that are fictional stories that are all told from the ghost perspective. So everything you read is the ghost point of view. It's what the ghost is experiencing. And, Larry and I put that book out. There's quite a few stories in there. And eventually we would like to film those stories. Now there's a couple of them that have to be a big production. There's no way that we could ever handle it. But there's a few in there that I'm sure that we can handle and make them really good. So that's kind of where we're looking to go, is to tell those stories in our own way, the way we want them told.
I couldn't
Anything you
find
want
my physical book, so that's the image. I couldn't find the actual book. I think they're in a box somewhere, getting ready for Spirits in the Spring.
Nice.
But there's that one there, and then this is the other one. The other one we did. Oh, geez.
Favorite one.
That's
Ghost
the
of
one I
Black Hawk
can't
War.
wait to read.
Nice.
So we also give a presentation at our cons about this book, talking about the history of the Black Hawk War and the paranormal encounters we've had over the years that are also featured in the book. But our Broadhead presentation will be all about Broadhead.
Awesome.
Lauren just said,
I'm
have you guys
actually
ever thought that the ghost could be doing an investigation on you? Lauren just put up a thing in chat, and I just read it. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up. No, you're fine.
Lauren, actually, that has been a concept I've brought up numerous times, that how do I know I'm not their EVP?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
I know my kids are investigating me every day. You know what I mean? They're inquisitive, and they want to know more about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. They move my tools, and they hide my tools, so I know they're interacting with what I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
So that thought has crossed my mind too. Are they actually trying to help, or are they investigating us? Or, there's all kinds of questions that just pop into your head.
Mm-hmm.
Are they seeing us like we see them? You know what I mean?
Right.
What was it? Fermi did discover Fermi discovered that there are multiple dimensions. Mm-hmm. So scientific fact now. So now take that knowledge and apply it to the paranormal anymore. Maybe.
The one big question I've always had is, what if they're sitting down for dinner and something comes across the table of, what's your name? Who are you? And they're trying to eat dinner. It's like, maybe that's happening in their realm, where our realm, we're hearing just bits and pieces of their dinner conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We always Yeah, we always joke about too, like the equipment that we use to communicate with them. Like even like something as simple as the cat balls. You know, from their perspective, you just threw this like magical glass orb at me that has fire in it. Like, what? You know, it. If I touch it, it starts exploding. Like, how do we know we're not scaring the shit out of them? Just trying to communicate with them. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, what is this magical box that shows me numbers and it starts beeping horrendous noises at me every time I get close to it? It's like,
Right.
are we doing it right, or are we scaring the shit out of them?
Speaking of cat balls, our little ghost Elizabeth has now learned. You know how they light up with red and blue and yellow lights
Yeah.
inside them?
Yeah.
She can light up just the blue ones in a cat ball.
Wow, that's
Oh,
interesting.
pretty cool.
It'll only light up
Huh.
blue. I can't explain it. I don't understand it. It just lights up blue. That's her favorite color.
Yeah.
If you throw anything blue, we have a blue yoga ball. We throw it out in the middle of the gym floor and just let it sit there, and we all just start talking. Next thing you know, you look over that it starts rocking back and forth, and all of a sudden it's going in circles on the gym floor.
That's
Hey,
great.
Virgil.
You know, she's amazing. I mean,
Hey, Virgil.
for a little 7-year-old girl, she's amazing.
Yeah.
The first time Dan and Larry ever came in, we this is another reason we had them come in the first place, is we made a little baby's coffin, and we put a doll inside it. It was an old porcelain doll. We had it all set up as a prop in the scene, and everything was fine. We left for the couple days, came back to start building again, and that the coffin's sitting there, but the porcelain doll is inside of it, and the face is gone. The porcelain face is gone.
Nope.
I'm out.
Well, I
Bye.
looked at the doll, and I looked at the doll, and I looked at it close. In the cotton fiber that's behind the
What I see.
porcelain, you can see the face of the imprint when it was made.
Ugh.
All the porcelain was forced outward, not inward, because if it fell forward and smashed on its face, there'd be porcelain in that cotton fiber. There was no porcelain in there. We couldn't understand it because when we moved the coffin, there's a perfect little pile of porcelain under the coffin. Like somebody swept it up and put it under there.
That's your janitor right there.
Yeah.
Not doing a good job cleaning, sir.
When Dan and Larry came in,
Oh, yeah,
Dan and I
clean.
sat and Dan and I and our previous owner that passed away, and we asked Elizabeth, did she do it? And she wasn't in trouble. We were using a K2 meter, I believe, that day.
Mhm.
And she was answering on the K2 meter by lighting it up for us.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan explained to her, she's not in trouble, sweetheart. Everything is fine. And she admitted to knocking it over and trying to hide the porcelain. I mean, it was it was amazing.
I
Kids.
see anything with no face, I'm running.
You're just gonna have a blast if you ever come to Broadhead.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of things with missing heads.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Outside of all that, though, you know, I don't think anything's really different though from this upcoming season of Expedition Eddie from when we first started. You know, we're still going to the lesser known locations. I like to focus on locations that have a little bit more of a historical tie, some kind of really cool historical fact around it. Like we've got one at the end of the year that I'm not going to spoil, but let me tell you, delicious history. I can't wait. And then we got another one coming up at the end of the month that, oh boy, it's going to be great. Can't wait. So like, you know, that's really the only major difference. Originally,
Really selling it, man.
I can't give out anymore. You gotta wait. But one of our unaired episodes that we didn't move to Paraflix was in a pizza place, like a Rosati's Pizza, just a regular restaurant. So, you know, while we got great things, like historically, like it was always a pizza place. The building was built there. There was nothing there before then. You know, So, you know, I like the historical stuff. But outside of that, yeah, we're still trying to do the same things we've always done. Try to highlight the location, try to talk about the cool spirits and what they can do, and give the owners a chance to say in their own words about their own location.
That's awesome.
And then we invite them to investigate with us, which a lot of people don't do.
I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, they're the ones who witness it the most.
Mm-hmm.
They have
That's
a better
always
understanding
been
of what's
my
going
feeling.
on.
They're the one they know.
Right.
If let's say that instead of ghosts, we're talking about little kids, and 4 adults walk into a room and they start talking to these little kids. You think those little kids are going to talk back?
No,
probably not. They're going to be like, well, no, I'm going to go over here now.
Right.
Same thing. But let's say one of those kids' mom and dad is in there, and mom and dad goes, it's okay. These guys aren't here to hurt you. They're friendly. Don't worry about them. You think the ghost / children would be more open to talking to you, right?
Right.
So we've always done that and have had great success with it.
That's a stranger danger.
Stranger danger. All these strange bearded men.
Right. Except for
And Jen.
Jenny. And
I was just gonna say, I
Jen.
can't do whatever.
Jenny, we got makeup
What did
that'll
you-
take care of that.
We're gonna get Jen a fake beard so she can match all of us.
Look it
So
up.
Jenny, when did you get to enter this group with these crazy sons of bitches?
Well, it was actually Dan that found me on Instagram, I believe. We had a bunch of mutuals with Paraflix and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was originally going to do Paraflix on my own, but then I was so
Yeah.
intimidated by it. I was like, no, I can't. And so I actually just declined and didn't proceed to do Paraflix.
Yeah.
But eventually it made its way back to me, and then they asked me to kind of join up, and I was like, let's do it. Like, I
Nice.
loved what they did. I mean, they were just so authentic because in like a lot of the YouTube circles with the paranormal, like it's really dramatic. It can get so like chaotic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's not like what this is. I mean, it's so different. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So when I found them and I was watching their stuff and just seeing how they like do their investigations and the places that they were doing, I'm like, yeah, I love everything about this, and I couldn't be more honored to be working with these guys here, and then Steve as well. But yeah, so, and I mean, like, we're coming up on 1 year. Our 1 year anniversary is on May 29th. I remember it vividly in my mind. I count that as because it was the day I announced I was officially an Expedition entity castmate. So yeah, and it's just been a blast ever since. And then I get to meet people like Bill, who's just been incredible, and brought it, and so, and the rest is going to be history. So
That's awesome.
Little did Jen know the cast is behind the camera. Surprise!
Hey, it doesn't happen without the cameraman.
Lauren, I think Dan would really enjoy that.
Definitely.
I would love to come out and check out the battlefields.
Yeah. Dan and I have a couple tricks up our sleeves for battlefields that we haven't been able to utilize yet. So I would love to.
I'd be interested to see how hard it is to get approved to be able to do that on a battlefield. Like, I mean, I know it's public space. But
You can get permits.
I mean, if you're filming,
filming is a different story.
Right.
Right.
There's a lot of councils you have to go through in a lot of towns to try to get the permitting.
Mm-hmm.
They're
ain't cheap. They're very expensive.
Yes.
The nice thing is when one of your battlefields is got a cemetery in it and it's a park. Because
the cemetery doesn't close at night.
Nope. We can be in there till 3 o'clock in the morning and nobody can say a damn thing.
Nope.
Oh. Yeah.
Nope, it has no hours.
There you go.
That's really good.
No hours.
Yeah.
From dusk till dawn.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Most places around Broadhead, it is dusk till dawn. Don't even walk through there. The police will get you faster than shit.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, Jenny, we're still alive. This is a 2-hour show.
Yeah. Wait. What do
Most
you
of the
mean
time.
we're still live? Did you leave?
Jeez.
Shit.
Did you leave this
We
show?
didn't even miss you.
Just say once somebody leaves, we usually kick them out of the chat. Larry had enough. He just signed off.
He's like, I gotta go.
I'm out.
Benny Davis is gonna commit murder right now, and I don't want to be a part of that.
Oh, that is so.
Ugh.
So do you guys? I know you guys do a lot
I
of
know-
filming. Do you guys ever investigate just to go investigate? I mean, or are you always filming?
With Larry, you're always filming. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll be walking through the building and here's Larry with a camera. Hey, Bill.
let me put a caveat on that. We're not always filming Expedition Entity, but there are times where I want to like make an adjustment to a microphone or a camera,
Yeah,
and I need people to shoot.
true. I get it.
So, hey, if this gets screwed up because the setting was wrong, doesn't matter. If it's usable for something down the line, perfect.
Yeah,
So,
Makes
and we
sense.
do that. Sometimes we go and investigate and kind of screw around. But then when we go to shoot an episode there later, I can reference back to the investigation we did 2 years ago. And I can say the last time we were here, we caught this and then show the video.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
but
that's
in
awesome.
reality, these guys are just screwing around, and I'm holding my camera like, yeah, this looks and sounds great. I like this.
Well,
Oh, that makes sense, man. That's what you're into. That's what you love doing.
I'm a
And I
tech
think that's amazing.
camera equipment nerd.
one thing I have to tell
Yeah, Shane.
Larry is good night, Shane.
Bye, Shane.
Good night, buddy.
See you, Shane.
Watch your drones again when you bring them up to the building. Last weekend, Ed Levin was out flying around the building trying to capture things through the windows with his drone.
Mhm.
He got to the north side of the building there in the front by the power lines. So all you see in the camera is it tilted down and instantly shot backwards and zapped itself in the power lines.
So I am very paranoid around power lines. I give them like a 10-foot berth, if not more. So
Oh, he was right up close to the building. This thing shot from the front, like 2-3 feet off the windows,
yeah.
all the way into those power lines.
Oh,
in
it
a
bounced
matter of
off the
seconds.
building? Oh.
Where something grabbed it and threw it into the power lines.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. That's not cool. Go
Because it was flying normal, and all of a sudden it just stopped, aimed
Yeah.
down, and then
Oh
flew
my
backwards.
Those
I
are
mean,
expensive, man.
I
Yeah, it was.
crashed my drone at Broadhead, but that was my own fault.
Yeah, we know what you did.
Things happen, can't help it. But the drone shots in Sounds of Spirits look great, though. So I'm happy
Yes,
that
they
the
do.
ones that
They
did
look
come out
awesome.
before the crash look good. So
Larry crashed the drone a couple times when we were shooting our most recent episode, and he
They're both
actually
active.
threw that out as a teaser video. But
a little short. So the drone has a battery, right? And the controller says, "Hey, stupid, I'm running out of battery. I'm going to land myself." And I kept going, "Nah, you're fine. Nah, you're fine." Well, when it gets to like 5%, it tells you I'm landing. I'm landing right now, and you can't stop it.
Well, he gave you plenty of warnings, Larry.
So when we were doing the drone footage, it was still snowy, and it was over the snow, going into the snow. And I'm like, no. And I'm fighting it, trying to get it to go and land on this deck of a building, and it went bam right into the wall.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like,
Oh,
Oh, Brony.
So it was fine, no problems. I picked it up, and I'm like, cool. So we go and film another spot on the property, and there's this like little twig tree, and it just clipped the propeller with the top twig. I'm
Oh,
like, Dan, I'm
man.
done. I'm no more drone.
it ended
I'm
up in the snow anyway.
It ended up in the snow
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh, jeez.
I lost mine into a tree.
Poor droney.
Did it ever come
Yeah,
back?
did you send up a second drone to retrieve the first drone, Heisenberg?
All right, so my friend got his drone stuck first, and I thought, hey, maybe if I tie some string around my drone, I can just lift it up. But no, Not even close.
Not even close.
This is why
Good
this
thought,
is why we
though.
don't film documentaries, because we just can't be trusted with technology.
See, all I did when ours crashed in the snow, I'm looking out there. It's a white drone and white snow. You're like, okay. So I just look at the map on the controller and I'm like, it's over there. And then we walked right to it. Yep, there it is. So
Shit.
got to get a drone with a map. That's the lesson you learn.
Yeah.
Well, when Larry and I looked at Droney and bought him, yeah, he's part of the team, he's part of the family.
Droney?
He's Droney.
Droney.
So when we purchased Droney, Larry was adamant we don't want one that your cell phone connects to.
Yeah.
We got one that it's its own controller. The screen's part of the controller, and it just makes everything so much better. We don't have to worry about an internet connection. Just the connection between Droney and the controller, and we're good.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I think it was the smarter buy.
Yeah, sometimes those cables, you plug it into your phone, you plug it into the controller, the cable goes out, and it's like, well, now I
Yeah.
can't fly until I get a new cable. If the
Okay.
screen on the controller goes out, then that's a whole worse problem. But you wouldn't be able to fly either way. So
Right.
and it prevents me from flying and my phone vibrating. Something goes off, or I get a notification. It drive me
Yeah.
nuts.
It's important.
We
to
love
cali-
him too, Nat.
I was gonna say we all love Droney Nat.
I
It's
love
important to
Droney when he
calibrate those
doesn't
things,
try to
man. I
commit
almost
suicide.
beheaded 3 girls like sitting in the middle of the park the same day I put the drone in the tree. But-
So we were in a cemetery testing the drone out, and I told Dan, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set it to automatically
shit.
track you, and it's gonna follow you as you walk. And he goes, okay. So he's standing there, and I take the drone and I put it like right here, and it's just going like 3 feet from his face.
I can
And
just
I'm like,
see
oh my
okay,
God.
start walking.
Frustrated
And
by
he's
the
like,
second.
There's nothing comfortable about having a drone in your face.
it's like
No.
a mobile chainsaw at eye level.
yeah,
Yeah.
Larry, you're so mean.
The funny
But the
thing
footage
is
looks
when we first used Droney, it was after our friend Miranda Young came up and filmed her part of the documentary that we were shooting. And Larry and I had taken Droney out to catch some B-roll shots after Miranda had went back home and everything. And we were out at the cemetery, and it was just before dusk, but the barn swallows started attacking Droney.
God, yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
They dive bomb the drone.
That's
Oh,
so
shit.
multiple bogeys in the air.
Right.
Right.
Please get to the bed quick.
Yeah, it was
Damn
wild.
birds.
I'm gonna have
Yep.
to get Droney a helmet.
Yeah, right. We put him through his
Get some
paces, that's for sure.
Gotta get some forward guns on that thing and shoot those
To defend himself, yeah.
Right.
little pellet missile launchers.
Man, do you imagine? Jeez, all the birds just dropping from the sky. Just
I'm gonna strap a Derringer to him and have 222
Jesus,
shells.
don't be Billy the Kid. Let's calm down.
The drone's gonna be flying like this the whole time.
If a bird's gonna
Yeah.
if a bird's gonna mess with Droney, I'm gonna introduce him to his
All right,
maker.
that's fair. Okay, I understood.
Oh, jeez.
It can be done because I've got a pond behind my house. About 10 years ago, I bought a pirate ship. It's a 3-foot long pirate ship. I put it on the pond. I sailed it. It's all remote control. I sailed it over to my neighbor's house. What he didn't know was every cannon had bottle rockets in it. The minute I turned it right to his patio and he was sitting there, I shot every bottle rocket out there. And I said,
Well,
"Yeah."
I'm just gonna remind you
awesome.
guys, drone is only like 8 inches long, so
Yeah.
we might get one bottle rocket on it.
Not very big. Yeah.
Not very
Yeah.
big. He's about the
Oh,
size
it's
of
not-
my phone, so
I don't
Yeah,
know
when he
what you need to
collapses
hurt
down, he's
Droney.
not very big.
Yeah. Let's not hurt
Droney's
Droney.
earned his keep. Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to, the only thing like, and of course, have seen Droney in my face. He kind of looks like he's got two eyes with those cameras and then a mouth with the other big
yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
I'd really like to make like a little hair thing for him and stuff, and have him have a beard and then film him coming up to me, and it would, make it a little more entertaining anyway.
Can he drop candy instead? I don't know if Droney can have a load on him. I think his propellers are just right for his weight. Sorry.
I could do it with my
they're
drone.
not very
It's gonna
big.
be nice for that comment there, Larry.
Mine's one of those big heavy duty ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Johnny's
Oh,
flying
nice.
over, dropping a load.
Well, I know those DJI Phantoms. They have a lot of lift.
Yeah.
You can
The
lift a lot with
Phantom,
those,
yes. But we
yeah,
have
Droney.
the Mavic.
He's DJI, but
Okay.
he's not.
yeah,
He's
a
not very
Mavic.
big. That's
Yeah, he's the one
No,
that like
he's
kind of
pocket
compacts
size.
down to like the size of a cell phone tie almost, like
Yep.
that big.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the kind Wolver
Yeah,
has.
he's
that
not
he shoots everything with.
It's a great little drone. The top speed in sport mode is like 35 miles an hour, which is pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't handle a drone like that.
Like it's but it's stressful because it's like so much
Yeah.
money, and you're just like,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
I can't believe some of the drone footage these people are getting. Like, there's that one they released last year by DJI that this guy had it flying under cars that were jumping over ramps.
Yeah.
You're like,
wow.
straight down canyons and then around.
Mhm.
I mean, this was like freaking nuts.
I've
This guy
seen
makes
guys,
big money doing that shit for movies.
Yeah. I've seen guys do like ski jumps where they're just hauling ass to get there, and then they turn sideways and like a guy comes over top of the drone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you were like a foot higher, they're both dead. Droney and the skier. Like, you're both going down. Crazy stuff.
I saw some really cool drone stuff where this guy was riding a dirt bike, and he was going through the trails in the mountains, and he had a GoPro, but he had the drone behind him tracking him, and he was flipping between the two cameras, and that was one of the coolest videos I think I've ever seen.
That is pretty tight.
Yeah, it's amazing
was
what
neat.
the technology for photography and filmmaking has gone. I mean, has become.
It
yeah.
is.
It's crazy.
Well, those drones, back in the day were 5 times as much money as they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 5 times as big.
Well, yeah. Some of them were like 2-person lifts to move them out of the box and set them up.
Yep.
Wow.
Now I pull out my drone. I'm like, all right, ready? Take off.
Yeah.
And the footage itself is so clean too. I remember back in the day, it's so pixelated. You were like, what, 430p or something or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, it was so
Yeah. Now we got a 4K 60 frame camera.
yeah, it's just nuts. Like, oh my god, it's
that's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, there's sometimes where I'm looking at the drone footage and I'm like, damn, that'd make a really good thumbnail. Click.
Yeah.
All right, we got a thumbnail, guys.
Mhm.
Thanks, Droney.
I think one of
Feels
the
great.
coolest films that we filmed with Droney, which we've never put it out, but we sent Droney out in sport mode, full speed across the bean field, just skimming right across the top of the crops, and that's
nice.
really cool looking. And then turned
and then
around
you
and
can
brought
see
him back.
You can see the birds like going like this to come after him.
Yep. They can't
Damn
catch him
birds.
though.
Damn birds.
That's awesome.
All of a sudden you just
But
see,
then Larry and I, we've experimented with Droney and cemeteries and stuff, and it's kind of cool to skiff across the top of the gravestones. And
welcome back, Steve.
the one thing about Droney, what's up, Steve? The one thing about Droney though is if he gets too close to a stone or something, he gets really pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He'll start yelling at you.
And
And
it'll
then if you turn
vibrate
that
if he
off,
gets
he'll hit it.
Yeah.
So you gotta have it on.
and then he'll hit it.
It's got accident avoidance, which apparently doesn't work for buildings.
Nope.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
The buildings and trees, he's just like, nah. I
I got
this.
this.
Damn
All
it.
right, I was wrong. Son of a bitch, I was wrong.
How many extra sets of propellers did you get with that, Larry?
10. I've gone through 4 of the 10. So shit. I still have enough for a little bit. The next set I buy is gonna be colored though. I'm gonna buy like different colored propellers next time.
Probably a good idea.
I'm here to tell you, if you want to put your stuff to the test, like a camera company, a drone company, whatever, just give it to Larry because he'll put it to the test. No question.
Listen, our production camera was not designed for ghost hunting. Guess what?
Yeah.
We did it.
We
We did it.
Yeah.
Elliot had that on his shoulder for like 4 hours straight, and he did it.
Oh shit.
God,
It worked.
Yeah.
But it's not made for that.
Well, that's a lot of. I mean,
yeah.
a lot of that stuff we use to film isn't made for ghost hunting. So
Mhm.
and I'm not an engineer or a scientist or a computer guy. So, God bless all of you guys that have been able to figure it out.
Luckily, Sony does the best in low light, so
Yeah.
it can see the best. The lenses that we have are lower light lenses, so the f-stop goes down to 1.8. It lets the most light in,
Okay.
but it seems to process light the best, and it ended up looking pretty damn good. We'll
Well,
see once
the
the
biggest
thing is done, but so far so
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing that we did with Expedition Entity from last season to this season is we stepped up.
Oh, yeah.
We were shooting most of our IR stuff with Sony AX33s,
Right.
and
Yeah.
not that they do a bad job because you're shooting 4K. It's pretty good.
Mhm.
But Larry and I started looking at a Panasonic. Well, then we looked at a really nice
X1500.
Panasonic,
Yeah.
and now we have 2 of those, and the AX33s are static cams.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
the thing is if you want to look good, you've got to get the best stuff out there to make you be able to film in the best quality you can. And that's the biggest thing that we've really been focusing on is we want to put out a good show. And when we do that especially with the Sony, when Larry can shoot stuff in color with that over 4K, it really is over 4K. It gives Broadhead, if we're there, so much depth. So when you're watching it, you're not watching this a bunch of guys with IR cameras, screaming around the building. You're actually seeing during the interview, seeing during the B-roll, all the depth of the building.
Yeah.
And IR is flat. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter how great that is. It's going to be flat. But I have to say the 2 Panasonics really do a really good job. So.
Yeah. For IR to get 10-bit video is really impressive. So, you're looking at less noise in the shadows, but when you do color, like it's all about the lights. Like Nat said, you got to test out the lighting. And for the night that I was there with them, they were talking about trying different lighting setups for Nat's documentaries, and I'm like, well, we're just going to do a bunch of different light setups and we'll see what looks good. And record.
Yeah, there you go.
And the only way to figure it out is to go and do it.
What are you doing?
Well, and Larry and I,
Trials
we had a
or-
6-hour shooting day yesterday.
What are you doing? To my
And just to finish the interview stuff and the B-roll, and what people don't realize is that when Larry and I do an episode, we get there before Jen and Steve show up, probably beat them there by at least 7 hours. So we've already been doing interviews and shooting everything all day. They walk in, and now we're starting our investigation. So it's
and then we're there for another 6 or 7 hours.
And then we're there for another 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then you can't help Larry put away anything because Larry is very obsessive, compulsive about, I got to put it here. I got to put this here. So you can even if you wind up the cables, you guys, it wasn't done right. So
Yeah.
I just walked off and started.
We can,
Larry's
we can
meticulous.
call it meticulous. Meticulous.
Dan and I will
Very
sit, Dan and I
There you
will
go.
sit there and just bullshit because we got to let Larry do his thing.
Yeah.
I know,
Listen,
and that's why I don't even
listen.
offer because I just
Hold
know.
on. If I don't touch
Away.
it and put it away, I can't say that it's in there. And then that's when I go, hey, where's this at? Oh, I put it in this box.
Yeah.
That's why I can't fucking find it. You put it in the wrong box, and I went to look for it, and it's not there.
Larry and his
Nat just said in chat.
The way I
Larry
think
looks
that
like
makes complete sense.
friends and-
boys.
Yeah, that makes
So-
complete sense to me, Larry.
You also have to wind cables a certain way so that they don't get bent on the
Jesus.
inside, the metalling. And then that's where they break apart, and then you throw the cable away.
Right.
They have to be wound a certain way.
Deep breaths.
You see what I deal with?
Nat says Larry
Chaos
looks like he's
behind the
cleaning
camera.
up a crime scene with his gear.
He does.
He does. Honestly, he does.
Yeah,
Bill
does.
He
Bill
put
sets
caution
out
tape
like,
up around, like, oh, everybody step back, nothing to
I
see
should.
here. Move
pretty
along.
I
much.
should. But
I
Bill
got
has
crime
like
scene tape.
15 tables set up in the gym for people to put their gear on. I take up half by
Yeah.
myself. Just with my stuff.
That's too much.
it.
Yeah.
Like Dan's got like a quarter of a table for his 7 boxes. No, that's all you get. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we went up,
I feel bad.
We
I show
went
up
up
with my
to,
backpack with my 3 things.
Me too. Me
I've
too.
I've tried to knock it down that far.
I just show up.
When Larry and I go somewhere and there's other groups there working with us, I know that they look over at us and go, "Look at those assholes taking up those 25 tables." And it's not this asshole, it's that asshole.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But what happens at the end of the night? They all come over and they go, "What do you got there? What does that mean? How did you set this up? Can I see
Yeah.
that? Can I hold this? Can I play with that?" Like, yeah.
I'm not
That's
saying you're
why I
not
get
good at your
25
craft.
tables.
I'm not saying you're not good at your craft. I'm just saying that this is when everybody looks at us and goes, "What all those? What do they get all those tables?"
Because I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there is a vast arsenal of
Why
equipment.
do you think I bought a 12-foot table for them when they come up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sounds
mean,
like
their
they need 2 of
table
those
is
motherfuckers.
3/4 the size of our concession stand.
And it's still only going to be big enough. I'll guarantee you.
It won't be big enough. It won't be big
No,
enough.
he'll have tons of shit there.
That's crazy,
Well,
guys.
I'm also planning to have a big screen TV in the back of us to play the episodes during the
Yeah.
con.
Oh,
Like
Hell yeah.
I think that's a good
I
idea.
might be able to fit that on this 12-foot table, but probably not. I'll probably have to bring a collapsible table and set it in the back. But
I got an extra table for you. Don't worry about it.
I'm here to tell you, as goofy as that sounds, we went to the Thornton Distillery and Larry brought this
Yeah.
52-inch TV. Everybody walked by and caught what was going on. Wow, what are you guys doing? Oh, that's our show. And
wow, that looks really
Yeah,
cool.
right.
Where were you at?
that looks really
Whoa,
cool. Where are you guys
Let me
at?
tell you about this location.
Yeah, Larry knows how to promote. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Nice. You got to. You got to.
I know how to sell it.
We're doing it small.
You.
Oh, whip it there, Larry. We know you.
Well, guys, speaking of selling stuff, we got only about a minute left in the show. Heisenberg, it's your time to shine.
Jeez, already?
What do you
You
have?
guys
to
have
ask
anything to
everybody?
plug?
There you
Dan, go.
All we have is Spirits in the Spring coming April 22nd, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. It's $10 at the door with a donation of food, $20 if you don't have food. Everything goes to charity.
Nice.
We are having Broadhead Manor itself is giving away, or not giving away, we're selling ghost hunting tickets for that evening from 8 to midnight afterwards.
Nice.
We're only allowing 20 people to investigate because we want everybody to have the true experience. If you have too many people,
awesome.
it just gets too crowded.
Oh, I agree.
There's over 50 vendors, there's 15 speakers, and we have an upstairs speaker section going and a downstairs speaker section going. So we're gonna have speakers going all day long. Every half an hour, we're gonna have a different speaker speaking. We also have private readings by Patty Nagari and Danette Renee. And there's 4 other
Awesome.
mediums that are also going to be there for psychic readings and stuff like that. Each one is designed in their own separate room. So you get the
Nice.
total privacy of your own private reading.
That's awesome.
We will have Nick Simons and Aaron G from 28 Days Haunted from Netflix. We will have Expedition Entity. We'll have, oh, there's so many, Greg, and I can't name half the people that are going to be there.
A lot.
Good comp.
So
It's a good
and
crowd
there's
to
going
have.
to be games and giveaways and contests and everything
Yeah.
else like that. We want to make this one fun. We want to make it memorable.
For the
Yeah, everybody
official
to come.
selfie contest, our
Good.
our cast representative for the selfies is Jen. So everybody bother Jen about the selfies. So if you want to make like a long line out the door for her selfie, please go ahead and do so.
Stop, Larry. Just
I'm going to pose her on the table.
Nice.
Be like a carnival booth. Like, all right, next.
Oh my God.
Send the line down the
Hey,
hall.
Jen,
Next.
just put $2.
Jen will do that.
$2
Jen will do that little wink.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So Expedition Entity, what do you guys have coming up? Where can everybody follow you guys?
Where are you at?
Find
There
out
you are.
what's new.
Over there, Dan.
You can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube. But to get the full Expedition Entity experience, you really need to go to Paraflix. That's where all of our episodes are streaming. We're into season 3 right now. Episode 2 of season 3 will be coming out probably just before Spirits in the Spring.
Awesome.
And Larry and I have also started a Patreon. And we're putting a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you won't see anywhere else on that Patreon. You can join for as little as $1, or you can go up to, $10, $20 if you want. But $10, it's like buying a six pack of Blatz. You can enjoy what we do stupidly behind the scenes. We also have our merch store going on, and it's actually doing really well. It's the same one that Paraflix uses, and I'm here to tell you I'm really impressed with their merch. So if you want to see everywhere we are, Larry just put a link up for our link tree that will take you to anywhere and everywhere that Expedition Entity stuff is going on.
So you get like analytics on the link tree, and our second most popular link is Jen's Instagram. It actually is.
Go, Jen.
Our first popular is actually our spread shop, which is kind of cool, but then it's Jen Instagram.
Oh my God.
And then it's a couple more, and then it's Dan, Larry, and Steve with one.
Man, that's crazy because my Instagram's been blowing up. I gained 100 followers in a week, and I was shook. I was like, "Oh God, for Instagram."
Well, why?
There you go. They're like, oh, we can find Jen
But
super easy.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, no kidding. I can literally just sell foot pics probably and get
Just
away
do
with
your feet.
Right.
That's all you got to do. You'll make millions.
Yep. Just put like a piece of equipment next to your foot to be like ghost hunting foot.
Ghost hunting, yeah.
Ooh, it's spooky.
Ooh, look at the spirit touching my foot.
K2's
awesome.
going off. It must be giving me a foot rub.
Toe job.
So for the
Whoa.
Cryptic Paranormal show, next week we're not having a show on the normal time. We're not doing a Thursday night show, but we're doing something cool and very different. We're coming live from an investigation at the Wickyards, a new place about to open up, hopefully for ghost hunting soon. We're getting in there kind of early. We got the top on it with a friend of ours. It's called the Wickyards. It's a concert venue that used to be a funeral home, and it's past history.
Ooh.
Hey, can you
very-
shoot me the details on that?
I will get you the details when we get there and talk to this guy. We're going to interview the owner the first few minutes. Then we're going to go live right here on Facebook and YouTube and hopefully capture some stuff for you guys. So stay tuned.
Is that on March 25th?
That is on Saturday, March 25th. You are correct.
This sounds like a really neat, lesser known location that could be shot an episode in.
Oh God,
Just
he's plotting.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
we
let you guys
could
know.
always use
Follow
a
us.
guest
Watch us.
investigator named the Goose.
I'm there.
We could have both be on there.
You made his day.
Yeah. I don't need to step in front of the camera the whole time. We can have both of you guys there.
Nice.
Exactly.
I want to thank Bill for being on, man. Thank you so much for sharing what you
You're
do,
welcome.
and just you're a very generous guy. Hearing all the stories about how wonderful you are, and I can tell it's all true. So thank you. Look out for all events coming out of Broadhead Manor. Expedition Entity. I want to thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for sticking with me through the beginning with all the internet issues.
Oh, you're welcome.
No problem.
And we'll do this again.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
We all awesome.
Absolutely.
So we will do this again, you guys. Thanks so much. Everybody watching, all our crypto heads, our big para family. We love you guys, and we will look out. See you next Saturday, right? Spook you later, crypto heads.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.